Hey everybody, it's the Iron Sun. I'm back again, and I am here to talk about women being on recruit difficulty. And the title today is "Men Must Become Women Just Are." So, in the dating market, especially men, a lot of times before they end up dating a woman, they're spending their time in a gym, they're working on their craft, or they're doing something in order to get increase the level of perceived value that they have to a woman. Now, women do this to some degree with makeup, but it doesn't really go beyond that to some type of performance related, increase in, in who they are. Women, even without actually saying it or knowing it consciously, they subconsciously know that they already have inherent value just based off of their looks. In fact, they use their looks to get what they want. So they actually leverage their looks to get things in society. So that's actually a measure of power that they have, considerably more so than men in that regard. Men use their social status and their social economic status and money and wealth in order to leverage what they want, in the same way. So the men are trying to leverage their social economic prowess in order to get the same thing that the woman has, which is attention, which is access to sex, which is companionship, relationships, things like that. Um, the interesting thing is, though, um, a lot of women complain in the workforce that they're not taken serious by the men, especially in a male in an environment that is largely male oriented, and there's a lot of males in that environment. Um, a lot of times, women, their lives are so simple and it's not as difficult and physically arduous that um, this is part of the reason why, in my opinion, they're not taken as serious. Um, but I don't want to go off too much on a tangent, but basically, there's a lot of ways society makes women's lives very easy and kind of holds them by the hand, and in a way, we infantilize women. Um, so, um, in another way, in the dating market, so there's kind of a power imbalance. Men literally have to do things in order to become valuable to people. Women inherently are valuable just by the nature of being women and just by the nature of having eggs. But men aren't inherently valuable just because they have sperm in our modern day society. Uh, and really just in general, he's generally men are seen as valuable for what they can do. This is why when a man loses a job, it impacts him more than when a woman loses a job, because it's intrinsically tied to his value as a person. Whereas when a woman loses a job, well, she's a woman and she still has looks, right? But granted, you do have pretty men, you have attractive men, but men have to be way more physically attractive in order to get the attention of an average woman. So it kind of like, like unless you're in the top, what, 1 percentile, 2 percentile of attraction, as a male, then you're not going to get that kind of attention that the average woman gets. Because the average woman has pretty privilege. It's not a, it's not reserved for the women who are the eights, nines, and tens. It's for the five, six, sevens, the eights, and nines, tens, maybe even the fours in some cases. Uh, but yeah, this is a this could honestly be a really big topic. I really think this is one of the most important concepts in the manosphere, or just in general in this community. Uh, Men must become, women just are. Uh, what does that mean? That means the men are typically going to have to put more work into their self growth, and they're going to be more introspective. The men are going to be forced to be introspective, whereas the women aren't really going to have time for introspection because they're too busy getting a lot of attention. They're too busy being around a lot of people. And generally speaking, the people who are going to be introspecting about life are going to be the people who have gone through a terrible amount of things. And the people who are extremely lonely, the people who are by themselves, basically. And that pretty much lines up with being a man. And yes, women have, there's a lot of things that they go through as well. And you could argue that it's just a different kind of struggle. But uh, generally speaking, men are the ones who are alone for the most part. Now, women are alone to a degree, but a lot of that loneliness for women is by choice. When they can't find the exact thing that they want, they still have men hiding in the rooftop saying, "Hey, I'll be with you." It's just they don't want those men. So it's a different kind of loneliness. It's like one's a chosen loneliness. One is the loneliness for a lack of value to give to others. So just wanted to cover that. Anyways, men must become, women just are.